Talk Tuesday.
Talk Tuesday, my friend. You had a little accident.
I did. And it was the weirdest thing. So I was holding my water bottle, and it's just this water bottle, it doesn't weigh a ton. I mean, but it had liquid in it. And it jumped out of my hand. Like obviously, but you know what? That's what it felt like, whoa, how did that even happen? And usually, like if I've dropped something in the past, like my toes are pretty quick. Like I can just hurry and pull it out of the way. Oh, not this time. And it landed right at the base. It's like this bottom part of my water bottle landed right at the base of my right fifth toe.
My God.
And
Wow.
so, fifth toe, trust and prosperity. It's the earth toe. And the base of our toe is it's the past, it's the roots, it's generations, it's our soul's evolution. It's really like, especially on the first and the fifth toe, because those are what really connects into that foot. So, and we've talked before about how the fifth toe is one of what I call the karmic toes. There's just a lot of karmic. And when I say karmic, I know karmic can have some different connotations. So I want to just explain what I mean by karmic is soul as well as generational issues that have not yet been resolved. It's not a punishment. It's just stuff that we're still working on. And maybe our soul has actually accomplished it, but we're here to clear it out for the generations. So that's a whole other conversation, but I just wanted to be clear about what my definition of karma when I say a karmic toe. There's just when it comes to trust and prosperity. I don't really need to explain very much about what we all got going on right now in human evolution, about issues around these that are generational.
Yeah.
And I broke it. So in like, of course there was the what the ouch. I'm like in downtown Quito and I've got walking still to do, like like I had all the human come in, and then I just said, this has broken the generational patterns that no longer serve me, my family, or my soul when it comes to trust and prosperity.
Wow. I have chills hearing you say that. And it's funny because we've talked about this in another episode, I believe, but I broke my toe in the exact same way. Like dropping a water bottle at the airport, uh, like back in the day when you could take water through security. And and my water bottle was in my backpack in the side pocket. And I went to go pick up my backpack to put it back on, and the water bottle, like exactly what you're saying. It was like it jumped out. Like
Yeah.
it like it was nice and deep in the pocket, and it was just like, nope, now I'm gonna be on the floor on your toe. um, so these are like those when people talk about like, oh, I'm looking for signs. Sometimes the
Kind of a
sign hits
sign.
you
Mhm.
without you looking for it. It's
Right. And I
after it
think,
happens that you're like, oh, there's the sign.
well, and I think about, like, back in the day. So this, we're talking back in the, pre 2001, when you could take liquid
Right.
through. And I'm thinking, if that would have happened to me, say in the 90s, I I didn't know about toe reading. I wasn't, I mean, I was involved. I've been involved in the personal development, spiritual, intuitive world since the early 90s, but it's actually a little bit like, I would not have thought, oh, well, I wonder what that's telling me about my trust and prosperity. I didn't know. And so that's, I think, was one of the most powerful things about this experience. And actually, it's healing up quite well. I'm very pleased with the speed with which it's healing up. But I think part of that simply is the awareness. Like, oh, there's the message here. I'm going to lean into this message. I'm actually setting some intentions around and using the energy and motion around this particular physical trauma to move it in a way that I feel is best for my soul. Always being open to whatever it is. I certainly didn't plan that, but making that choice that that's what that represents. So if it hurts when I feel it, I can just remember, I I'm in a new pattern. I'm in a new way of being because those old patterns are no longer impacting me in a way that keeps me playing small, in a way that keeps me playing um, in a way that does not evolve my soul, and in a way that is actually my brain might think is safe, but does not actually do for me and my people, and thus all of humanity, the beautiful work that we get to do at this time.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. For for lack of a better turn of phrase, it's I and it's the earth toe, right? I feel like it's this there's a grounding when you have this information because like you said, like you're going to human. It's just how our brains function, right? And when you get that twinge, I imagine for you, I'm remembering when I had it, there would be moments where I was like, oh, it's healing. And then I would step wrong, or like somebody would, I would bang it, or somebody would bang into it, or something would happen. And you'd feel that twinge, and it was just like, oh, go. And yeah, absolutely. Like now I find myself with this knowledge being able to much more quickly go from like the like 4 letter words coming out of my mouth to like, okay, like come back to myself, ground, take a deep breath. What's this message? And, over and over and over again.
Over and over and over again. And, again, looking at that, it's, I'm seeing it as a reminder that I'm in a new pattern. And sometimes it takes our human a bit of time
Yep.
to really fully embrace a new pattern, especially one that is so generationally ingrained.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I am sending you healing vibrations
I receive
across
it. I
ocean,
receive it.
across time and space to your fifth toe, my friend. And yeah, and I'm curious for people who are listening, like, have you ever broken your little toe? Because it is a toe that a lot of people break. Um, Tell us the story. We're clearly not shy about hearing broken toe stories. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and then whether you reflected on it in the moment or not, and you're reflecting on it now, like what lessons were there in that moment?
And Marissa, before we go, I'm really curious to know, knowing what you know now and looking at that situation so many years ago, what shifted? Because there was something that shifted.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm not sure it shifted in the moment because I didn't have this knowledge, and um but as I shared in that other episode, like I was going to my first National Society of Genetic Counseling meeting. It was my second year of grad school, so this was the meeting that like you were going to start networking with genetic counselors and and doctors and other health professionals in and potentially get a job and kind of put your 2.5 years uh, of studying to practice. And I was really, really worried. I really wanted to, I was 29. I really was like, I was already married. I wanted to have a kid. I was waiting for grad school to be over to get the job and have the kid, right? It was like, I was still on that path of like, when I have these things, then everything will be okay. Right. like the have be do, like when I have this, then I can do this, and then or have do be. When I have this, I'll do this and I can be this. And I really think that was a really big shift because it was not easy to walk around the conference hall like this huge giant with a broken toe, as I know you're experiencing right now. I also needed to so I needed to receive a lot of help, and I was one of the people in my class. We were a small class of 7 that was always the first to sort of raise my hand and help, but didn't always ask for help. Right. So again, like I trusted myself to be there for others, but didn't trust myself to be there for myself. And so I think those things sort of they started to shift then. It was right around my first Saturn return, right? So they were it was planting the seeds of that shift of, are you like, is this really what you want? Is this the path? Like, how do you receive? How do you step into your feminine, especially around, you know, wanting to have a child and get pregnant? And so I think that's really what shifted is,
Wow.
but it took I'm a slow learner. It took me many years for that message I think it took me learning toe reading to be able to reflect back and go, oh, that broken toe and how the conference went because I was walking on a broken toe all weekend is very different than how it would have gone had I been able to run and jump and skip and walk long distances to go out to dinner with people and that kind of stuff. So,
Wow. What a beautiful
yeah,
plan your soul made for you.
yeah.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Marissa.
Thank you for asking.
I would love to hear any toe stories that you have in the comments, and particularly about that fifth toe, because it is a very common toe to break. What shifted for you? I can't wait to hear about your contemplation.
Please share, and we'll see you on the next Toe Talk Tuesday.